Have you ever heard someone say a haircut can make you look like a whole new person? Well, today I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. So let's get it. So we're going to start off by the scissor work, right? The scissor work is going to be the foundation and the transformation of this haircut. So we're going to start off by dampening up his hair. And now we're going to create 3 sections. One in the middle of his head, one on the left side of his head, and one on the right side of his head. And now we're going to lift that middle section up, and we're going to take off about, I would say, almost 1.5 inches here. And we're going to follow this all the way back in that section. Now we're going to comb it all over to the right, and we're going to take horizontal sections moving forward. So we're going to use that middle section as our reference point when trimming the right side. So any length difference, I'm just going to go ahead and cut that. I'm going to show you guys here again. You can see where that middle section was, and we're going to take that right side down to that. This is a real simple way to stay organized when trimming the length of hair without getting lost. We'll do the same thing over here. Staying real clean with our sections. Trying not to get lost in the hair, right? And now we're going to take a section of that right side and move it towards his left side. And we're going to do the same exact system, taking horizontal sections moving forward. You can see the length difference, and we're going to go ahead and cut it. And using that middle section as our reference point really helps us stay organized and not get lost. You can say, man, we're staying poised, we're staying consistent here. And we're gonna do our last section. And now we're gonna go ahead and trim the sides. That was trimming the top, so now we're gonna move on to the sides. And for this, is a little more challenging. We're gonna take sections kind of going diagonally, and we're gonna trim the sides to that same length. So you can see right there, I'm just pulling, and any length difference, I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Now we're taking another section, and we'll do the same exact thing. And I wanted to pin the top hair up because it is already cut. I don't want to cut it anymore, right? But we're taking off the same amount of length on the sides as we did the top. Staying real clean. Now to create your sections, you want to dampen up the hair enough in order for it to stay to the side. So his hair is actually very wet, and this helps me stay organized as well and not the hair fall over into the section. Now we're going to move on to his left side. You guys asked for more scissor work videos, man, so I'm showing you guys here. This is my system. This is how I do it. Taking those small sections. Man, when I first would have started, I would not have known what to do with all this hair. I would have just pulled it up, cut, pulled it up, cut. But sections really is a simple way to stay organized and ensure that you get a nice even cut. Now, I'm not the best at scissor work. There are definitely a lot of people that are better than me, but I found this system very efficient, especially when you're working in the barbershop, right? Alright, so now I'm going to go through the sides and kind of just, you know, come back with it and kind of cross-check my work to make sure everything's more a little even. Or make it more even, sorry. So I'm just pulling out, looking for any length difference, and then we'll just even everything out. And by the looks of it, man, I did pretty good. There's just a little bits of hair that I got to get, but I think I did pretty decent with trimming the sides. So now we're going to style the top. We're going to use our Slick Gorilla Lightwork Clay. This product is amazing, and I'm going to emulsify it in my hands and kind of just work it in his hair damp, making sure that I get every hair. And now we're going to use our diffuser to dry the hair. And what this is going to do is dry the hair without blowing it in every single direction. And as you can see, man, when we styled it, it gave him more volume. It gave him a whole new look with slight kind of wavy curls. So it really just transformed his whole look. And then when we come back in the end, I'll add some more product and it'll look even better. So now we're going to get into the sides. And for the sides, since his hair is so straight and naturally wants to fall forward, we do have an undercut look, but when the curls fall over it, it'll all look blended. So let's get into the taper. We're gonna take down this taper area to a 2-guard open. And now we're gonna set in our bald line starting at the top of the arch and then going to the bottom of his ear. Now this is gonna be a high taper. Now we're gonna go ahead and bald it out using our shaver to get it a little closer to the skin. Now for the next step, we're gonna go in lever all the way open on our rebels here, and we're gonna go up about a finger's width, staying real consistent here. And as you can see, that is a finger's width. Now my man has a major tan line, which really makes the blend pop, but you'll see it causes the lines to be very faint and not really see where it needs to be blended, right? So I'm paying extra attention to detail here. And now above that, we're gonna have our 1 guard with the lever all the way open. And again, we're gonna go up about a finger's width, flaring out slightly as we do so. We're not trying to create too harsh of a line here. And I'm not gonna lie, this client's hair is very easy to blend. So you can see right with this 1 guard, it's starting to blend very nicely already. So not a lot of work to do. And then we close that up to get rid of that line in the middle. And now to get rid of this little faint line, we're going to use our 1/2 guard with the lever all the way open. And then we'll go ahead and close it as needed. And now we're going to have our 1.5 lever open, going up just right under that 2 guard open. And I'm not taking it up too high because I want to leave some weight at the top of this taper, especially since when we take those clips out, the hair is going to fall on top of it. And I want it to kind of all flow together, right, and not look like an undercut. So I'm using clipper over comb in order to leave that weight up there. That's my daughter in the background. If you hear, I apologize. She's having a good old time in her swing. And as you can see, we're coming in with the comb, flaring out slightly. Now my lever is all the way open on my clipper here. And we're just working at it, man, bringing it all together. This taper is looking super clean. Now we're gonna come in with our thinning shears to soften it up a little bit. And you'll see what I mean by leaving the weight and the darkness of the top of that taper is really gonna make it look like the hair blends into the sides and not look so much like an undercut. And now for the other side, we're gonna follow the same exact system. We're gonna debulk the sides to the 2 guard open, leaving that weight along the top of it. And now we're gonna come in and bald it out with our trimmer right at the top of the arch and where the ear connects to the head. And now for the next step, we're gonna have a lever all the way open on our clipper, going up about a finger's width. And like I always say, man, I apply the same system to every haircut, no matter the hair texture, no matter the person. I use the same exact system that I'm comfortable with, right? And then I make minor adjustments along the way and details along the way. And now following that up, we're gonna have our 1 guard lever all the way open. Very simple, very easy. I think the hardest part of this haircut would be the scissor work, right? Because it kind of just transforms this whole look. My man goes from Justin Bieber to looking Puerto Rican. And now for that line in between, we're gonna have our 1/2 guard lever all the way open, and then we'll go ahead and close it as needed. Now this is our 1.5 lever open, stopping right below that 2 guard open that we debulked with. And now we're gonna come in lever all the way open and do some clipper over comb. So I'm coming in with that comb and flaring out slightly, and this is gonna help maintain that weight along the top of that taper. Making sure that I get the hair behind the ears, right? So when I come in and line that up, it's a lot easier. Now we're coming up straight with that lever open to blend it a little better. Now to soften everything up, we have our thinning shears. Now we're just cleaning up that work we did with our clipper over comb. And that taper is coming together very nicely. And now for the back taper, still the same exact process, guys. So 2 guard open to debulk. And I want to maintain that weight along the top of that taper as well. Because again, when we take those clips out, the hair is going to fall right on top of it. And the length difference won't be as drastic as if we shaved all that with a 1.5 or a 2, right? I want it to fall right into that weight. So now we're going to establish our bald line right below the bottom of the ear with our trimmer. And now we're going to flip that trimmer around and get rid of that hair. And you can see my man's tail line is serious, but it really makes his taper look, it makes it pop out, which, I appreciate. So now we're going to follow it up with the shaver to get it a little closer to the skin. Now we're going to come in lever open on our clipper. And we're going to go up about a finger's width here. And I tend to make the guidelines in the back just slightly wider, and it's because we have a lot more surface area to work with, right? It's a bigger part of the head that has a lot more space. And as I continue to fade and set in these lines, you'll see that I brush as I do so. And that's because I want to get rid of all the hair that kind of gets in the way, and I want it to lay in its natural direction, right? And now to start getting rid of that line in between, I'm going to go ahead and close that lever. And as we move up within this guideline, you'll see me gradually start to open it. And the line is very faint on his hair texture, so it's not really hard to get rid of since his hair blends so well. And now to follow that up, we're going to have our 1 guard with the lever all the way open. And as you would guess, we're going to go up a finger's width as well. Really flicking out as I move up higher in this taper, and that's because I don't want to make too harsh of a line. Now to start getting rid of that line in between, I'm going to have my 1/2 guard with the lever open. And as we continue to get rid of this line, if we see that it doesn't get rid of it, we'll go ahead and close that lever as needed as well. And slowly but surely, this taper is starting to come together the farther along in the process we get. And now just like on the sides, right below that 2 guard open, we're going to have our 1.5 with the lever all the way open. And then I'll close it as needed. And I want to make sure that I don't take this 1.5 up too high, because I want to leave that weight at the top of the taper back here as well. And now to blend into that weight that I want to leave at the top, we're going to do clipper over comb again, having our lever all the way open with our comb flaring out slightly. And you can see how nicely it's starting to blend into that weight. And now we're going to do it along the ear as well, because you don't want to have too much hair hanging over when you go to line it up, because we want to make sure that this line is sharp. So I'm doing some clipper over comb here as well. And now to line up his nape area, we're going to start at the top of his ear, and then we'll go to the bottom and meet it in the middle. And this is going to allow me to get that nice line on the nape area without digging into it too much. And right here, I'm just showing you that all that hair hanging over is literally kind of like bangs. So it's not actual hair. So we're going to go ahead and cut that off. Well, it's actual hair, but it's hair that's just hanging over his natural line, right? So it doesn't need to be there. And you can see how it really makes that taper pop and bring everything together. And now we're going to detail that taper as needed. That thing is looking blurry. And as you can see, when I take out the clips, this is what I meant when I said the hair kind of falls into that weight in the back and makes it look a lot more even. And now right here, I'm just showing you that all those hairs are overhang hairs. So we're going to start in the middle and move towards the right side of his head, trying to keep everything as natural as possible, while at the same time, getting as symmetrical and as sharp as possible. And that thing is coming out super sharp. And now we're gonna line up his box, brush those hairs back down, make sure we got all of them, and then reline it. And now we're gonna move towards his right side, doing the same exact thing, trying to keep it, natural and get it sharp as well. And you can see that lineup really made that taper pop, but we are going to enhance it with our airbrush, and we're just gonna come in with the card, spray it a little bit, and then pull it away. And if we need to add more, we'll go ahead and do so. But all this is doing is darkening up those light areas and really making that lineup pop and look super, super crispy. And now we're going to come in with our razor and attack that lineup and make it super sharp and last a little longer. So we're stretching the skin in the opposite direction of which we are using the razor. And that's because we don't want to cut him, right? And now to style the top, to finish it off, we're going to use our Slick Gorilla volumizing powder. And what this is going to do is give his hair that dry look, while at the same time giving it some hold, to stay up. And you could always use this product by itself, but I like to cocktail it with another one of Slick Gorilla's products, which is their clay pomade. So I'm going to go ahead and take a dime size of that and kind of emulsify it or melt it in my hands. And then we're going to work it into the top, and this is going to give it that nice finished polished look. So we're just working it in there, trying to bring out, his wavy curls as much as possible. And as you can see, this thing is looking super clean. So fam, as you can see, he came in looking like Justin Bieber and he left looking Puerto Rican as ever. Family, if this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video. But like always, I will catch you guys next time.